Welcome to another episode of Fight Night Picks with your host, Makai. Next card up, we got UFC Vegas, Manel Kape versus Asu Almabayev. Let's preview the card, break down some picks, and make sure you guys drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. First fight up, we got Charles Johnson versus Ramazan Temurov. I do have to drop a caution around fighters who put together a solid win streak. Charles Johnson is on a 4-fight win streak right now, and they gave him Ramazan Temurov. I would have thought Johnson would have got a ranked opponent, but here we are. My pick is going to be Charles Johnson. Ramazan Temurov is a very scary guy. I see why people are picking him. He does have 17 finishes in about 20 fights. Definitely has power. But Johnson has a 5-inch height advantage and 7 inches in reach. If Johnson can utilize his teeps, his straight shots, use the jab, and I also like his offensive wrestling and his defensive wrestling in this fight. I don't expect Temurov to be shooting takedowns, but Johnson can definitely, I think after the first round, if he stays safe, he can use his wrestling to get this guy either down or at least pressure him up against the cage and mix it up with him. Now, the first round is where I see the caution coming for Johnson. Temurov is a very strong guy. A lot of first-round finishes. I would like to see Johnson stay on the outside, mix up the wrestling threat early, and see if he can, take down that gas tank that Temurov may or may not have. So I'm going with Charles Johnson in this one. Next fight up, we got Montana De La Rosa versus Luana Carolina. I'm going to pick Luana Carolina. This isn't a high-level women's MMA fight. Women's fights do trend to go to the decision, so I'm going to go Carolina by decision in this one. I don't see, much of a difference in their skill sets. Montana does have a wrestling boxing approach in her fight style, but I think Luana's better on the feet, and I think I'm not too concerned with Montana De La Rosa beating her in this one. She is 13-9-1. I think Luana could, win a fight on the scorecards in this one. Next up, we got Lucas Almeida versus Danny Silva. This is an interesting fight. I'm going to pick Danny Silva. If I had to pick a method of victory, I'll go Danny Silva inside distance. I know Lucas Almeida is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He also has a black belt in Muay Thai. He cuts the octagon off really well. I think they're about the same height. Yeah, they're the same height. Almeida does have a lot of power in his hands, but when he's in the pocket, he stands really tall. His chin is up in the air. He'll let go his shot, and he's there to get hit sometimes. I think somebody who has like fast boxing, who can mix it up in the pocket really well, will give him a lot of trouble, just like Andre Philly did, who actually knocked him out. Beautiful knockout. I think Danny Silva is the guy who can get it done as well. He does have solid boxing. He mixes in the takedowns as well. I think his hands are pretty quick. He did have a tough fight with Josh Kulabayo last time out, but Kulabayo I think he's a little better on the feet than Lucas Almeida. I think his hands are at least better. I think Danny has more of a relentless pressure to him too, so he'll be up in Almeida's grill a lot. I think him cutting off that space, will negate a lot of the kicks that Almeida likes to throw. If he can keep it in boxing range, I can see Silva putting him out, catching him probably with like a hook inside the pocket. That's what I can see happening. Next fight up, we got Andrea Lee versus J.J. Aldrich. I'm picking J.J. Aldrich in this one. This is also, a lower end women's MMA fight. Andrea Lee is on a 5-fight losing streak. I'm just going to pick J.J. Aldrich in this one. She's younger, better boxing, and I like someone who's not on a 5-fight losing streak, Next fight up, we got Douglas Silva de Andrade versus John Castaneda. I'm picking John Castaneda in this one. I like youth. They both shared a similar opponent in John Miles. John Miles just beat Douglas Silva. John Castaneda submitted him. MMA math isn't everything, but sometimes it works out. Douglas Silva is 39. Older fighters who are at like lower weight classes don't seem to, hold up that long. 39 is pretty old for a 135 pounder. I like Castaneda's kickboxing. He has a very sneaky high kick. Andrade, he loads up and puts himself out of position sometimes. And I don't think he's going to have the pace to keep up with John Castaneda. I think he might be able to get him out of there, honestly. But I'll just stick to the pick, John Castaneda. Next fight on the card, we got Ricardo Ramos versus Chepe Mariscal. I'm picking Chepe. I love Chepe's gas tank, man. He is a grinder. I think he's going to finish Ramos, honestly. I can see him taking him down. I don't know if it's going to be a ground and pound TKO or submission, but I definitely see Chepe inside distance. Ramos, I don't like his IQ. He had Julian Erosa hurt bad. I think he dropped him twice in the first round, and then he shot for a takedown. It was very questionable. A lot of fighters, if I'm going to hurt someone on the feet, I'm not going to immediately smother my work, push them up against the cage and shoot for a takedown. I'm going to back up, give them, a second to get back to their feet if I did drop them, and then I'm going to continue to pick them apart. But I don't know. Ricardo, he decided to shoot for a takedown and ended up getting submitted. So, but yeah, I like Chepe. He's definitely a grinder, pressure boxing, wrestling. Ramos, and then that Ramos, when he got submitted by Erosa, he started, he was pushing his head out and he just tapped. So I don't like guys who have questionable IQ and you're quick to quit. So I'm definitely picking Chepe inside the distance. That's the pick. Starting off the main card, we got Danny Left-Handed God Barlow versus Sam Patterson. This is a very interesting fight. I know Danny is a huge favorite. I think he still gets it done. The odds shouldn't be this wide in this fight, honestly. We haven't seen Danny fight someone with the wrestling ability that Sam Patterson has. And I think the second and third round, if he's able to get him down, it'll definitely be interesting to see if Sam could get his neck, if he could put him in, a couple of compromised positions. If I had to pick a bet on this one, I would definitely do like a double chance, maybe like Barlow, TKO, Patterson sub. That's what I would go with. The reason why I like Danny Barlow for a finish, for a knockout, is Sam stands really tall. He is 6'3", doesn't have much of a height advantage on Danny. They're only 1 inch, 1 inch apart. But Sam stands really tall and his chin is up in the air. If Danny can put together a solid combination and find his chin, we have seen Sam hurt. I know he was down at 55. He's up at 70 now. But I don't know. We're going to have to see. Danny does have some power. I know Danny, he did break his hand, or he broke his arm against Josh Quinlan, but he still finished the fight, so I'm pretty impressed with that. He did go decision with Nikolai Veretennikov last time out, but if you listen to his post-interview, he was like, I'm not letting that shit happen again. So if he's going to be going for the finishes, I like the chance for him to get a TKO. I still don't like the odds. That's why I said double chance, Barlow TKO or Patterson sub. But the second and third round is definitely where the fight is going to get interesting. I think Patterson, if he's able to take Barlow down and maybe get on his back or something, definitely be worth the prop, worth looking into. And I don't think Danny has been taken down in the UFC yet. Yeah, he hasn't. So this will be an interesting fight. It's a good fight. Next fight up, we got William the Jaguar Gomis versus Hyder the Hurricane Amil. I'm going to go William Gomis by decision. Gomis is very technical. He has very good striking. He had a split decision win against Joanderson Brito last time out. I think, from what I've seen, I think Joanderson he's better than Hyder Amil. I know everybody's like going crazy over the knockout that Hyder had on who was it? Jun Young Lee. He took him to Hook City. I'll definitely admit that. It was like a 40 punch combination. But that blitz, I think Gomes is technical enough to avoid something like that. That first round is definitely going to be the scariest. He might land something on Gomes. Not saying he's the most technical striker out there, but I like what I saw against Joanderson Brito enough to pick him in this fight. I think if he stays clean, pick him off, stay outside, utilize the straight shots. As you can tell, I'm a fan of guys that utilize the jab. That's like your money punch in the fight. If he utilizes his jab well, I think he can get a win on the cards. Honestly. Next fight up, we got Austin Lane versus Mario Pinto. This is the heavyweight prospect showcase. Pinto, first round knockout. That's my official pick. He had a nice check hook knockout on Dana White Contender Series. His striking is levels ahead of what Austin Lane presents. Lane, I think they're sacrificing him, honestly. I know he did win against Robelis de Spain last fight, but we got to be honest. De Spain, he's not very good. He's a scary striker, but when it comes to MMA, he is not very good. He got taken down a bunch by Austin Lane. Austin Lane has the football background. He's definitely going to be trying to shoot takedowns in this fight, but I think Pinto puts him out first round. Pinto also has 5-round experience, so I'm not worried about him gassing out if they do get to the second or third round. But I definitely see Pinto shutting the lights off. That's the official pick, Pinto knockout. Guys, if you like the pick so far, drop a like, hit the comments. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Let's keep this thing rolling. Next fight up, we got Nasrat Haqparast versus Esteban Ribovics. This is another fight where the odds are a little wide, but I'm going to be picking Ribovics as well. I think this has fight of the night potential, either this or the Johnson Temerov fight. I think both of these guys are on the path to the rankings. I picked Daniel Zellhuber to beat Esteban Ribovics on that Sphere card. Esteban outdogged him, man. It was a tough fight. He almost put Zellhuber out a few times. He almost got knocked out himself, but that fight was amazing. I think Esteban is more of a dog than Nasrat. Nasrat had a tough fight with Jared Gordon last time out. A lot of people didn't like the decision. And live, I'm not going to lie, I thought Jared Gordon won the fight as well. But, when you're in Saudi, you gotta make sure you beat the guy, So, but yeah, I'm picking Esteban Ribovics. I think he's more vicious. I think he's going to push the pace more. And I think he wins the fight. Not sure how. Maybe on the cards. Maybe a TKO. I don't know. But Esteban Ribovics is the pick. In the co-main event that we all asked for, Cody Brundage versus Julian the Cuban Missile Crisis Marquez. I don't know how this is a co-main event. I would definitely switch this with the Nasrat Ribovics fight for the co-main event, but I guess this is it. I'm picking Cody, I guess. He's not a guy that I'm very impressed with what he's done. He had the no contest with Abdul Al Hassan. I think he was taking like some knees to the back of the head. He looked like he was okay to continue, but I think he quit. He had the sub loss to Bo Nickel. I don't know. He's younger. He's more athletic. And Julian is coming off of 3 straight knockouts. It's hard to pick someone who's in that position, Brundage, he does have solid wrestling. He did all right with Bo Nickel in the first round. He did that, who was it? Zach Reese. He slammed him, that knockout. That was pretty interesting. But don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the fight where Julian Marquez knocks Cody Brundage out. Things like this tend to happen in these type of fights. This is just, I definitely wouldn't have this as a co-main event, but it is what it is. This is probably the fight to see who keeps their contract, honestly. But Cody Brundage is the pick. Nasty co-main event. In the main event of the evening, we got Manel Kape taking on Asu Almabayev. If Manel Kape is serious about this title run, he's going to have to get a finish, TKO. So that's the pick, Manel Kape, TKO. I have to give respect to Asu for stepping in on short notice. You know, this card was supposed to be Manel Kape versus Brandon Royval. Royval had to withdraw because of an injury. But if Kape is serious, we need to see the finish, man. I know Pantoja and Kai is getting booked for the title shot. So if he wants to be next, we need to see an early stoppage, honestly. Kape's coming off that win against Bruno Silva. He showcased on him. He was a star boy, lived up to his name, definitely got the finish. It was a good showing for him. He was calling for the title shot and not getting it off of that. So maybe if you put together a finish in this one, then you could be next. If not, then they'll probably rebook the Kape Royval #1 title eliminator. It depends on who wins the belt, honestly. Kape also has really good takedown defense. He has 77% takedown defense. So he's only allowed 7 out of 20 takedown attempts. That's a very good stat. Now with Asu, he's solid all around. He doesn't present like a power threat to Manel. I don't see him winning many other striking exchanges. He likes to grapple first, definitely looking for a takedown. If he shoots and he misses, he's definitely going to go for another one. He's only got one finish in the UFC, and it was against Odi Osborne. It was a rear naked choke, and Manel Kape knocked that guy out. So I think Kape's takedown defense is definitely going to hold out. He did well against Muhammad Mokaev, who is a better grappler than Asu Almabayev. Held his own against that fight. It was a weird fight, but if Kape's going to take this title run serious, we're going to see it finish Saturday night. So that's what I'm looking for. Let me know in the comments which fight you guys are most looking forward to. If you agree, disagree, you want to say something, just drop it off in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for tuning in.